Part 7. We're going to continue with multiplication of algebraic expressions. You will find this on page 105 in the Namibian Mathematics Grade 8 textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Now, let's look at multiplying a monomial by a polynomial. Now, let's just quickly go through this class activity. Now, if I have 3 rows and I have 2 columns here, and then there will be 5 columns. So, if I want to multiply it, it will be 3 times, remember, this is 2, there's the line. So, this is 2 plus 5. And I can break it up as saying 3 times 2 plus 3 times 5. So, look, 3 times 2 plus 3 times 5. Now, let's put in alphabet letters, variables. So if I do exactly the same, and this is x plus y. So just remember, this is 3, and this is x plus y. And I can break it up into 3 times x plus 3 times y. Now, this will give me, if I simplify this, x plus y, and this was giving me 3x, remember, 3 times x, plus 3 times y. So this will give me 3y. Okay. We say that a bracket b plus c, close the bracket, is expanded to give ab, look, ab plus ac. Or ab plus ac is the expanded form of a bracket b plus c. So it's a monomial by a polynomial. This is known as the distributive law. So basically what I just do is I just take a and I multiply it with b, and then plus a and I multiply it with c. Now, let's go through this example. Example 10. Expand each of the following expressions. Expand means just multiply out the bracket. So if I say 3 times 2x, okay, it's always good to break it up, especially for grade 8 students who's doing it for the first time. So I break it up almost like I was breaking it up there. So it's 3 times 2x, keep that sign, rewrite the 3 and the 5x, and now do the step. Say 3 times 2x is 6x, and negative 3 times 5y is negative 15y. So my answer is having 2 terms. And now, just be very careful. Can you remember? Let's just mark it so that you can remember that negative. Be careful for the negative, because you must find the additive inverse of the ending. But the best will first be to just write the step. Say negative 3 and then 2x. Rewrite the negative 3 and then negative 5. And don't forget that it's changing to the additive. So this is changing to a positive and this is changing to a negative. This is positive and this is also changing to a positive. But what I like to tell my students is it's best to just concentrate on the multiply. That bracket means multiply. So if you say negative 3 multiplied 2x, how many negative signs are there? Just 1. So that's why the sign is negative. And 3 times 2x, that's 6x. Now look, a negative multiply a negative. If there's 2 negative signs, then it's an even number, so that's why the result become a positive. And 3 times 5, what is 3 times 5? 15, and I just rewrite the y. Okay, I want you, just move up a little bit. I want you to do for me, try now 9, do number A as well as number B. Okay, let's do, try now 10. Let's start with number A. It was 2, 6a plus 7b. Now, as I said, I prefer grade 8 students first to just write it as 2, 6a plus, and then that's 2. Remember, there's a positive. If there's nothing, it's a positive. So plus 2 and 7b. And I think then it's easier. So then just saying 2 times 6, so that will be 12a. 2 times 7, that will be 14b. And my answer will have 2 terms. And if I look at the next one, number B, oh, be careful for the negative. Negative is always changing signs. But the first step, you can just take the negative 5 and you're going to multiply it with 2a. Then you're going to take again the negative 5 and you're going to multiply it with 8b. And now you can do it in one of two ways. I'm going to show you both. You can say, and I find that it's a subtraction, so I find the additive inverse. So I change it to an addition, and I find the additive inverse, which is negative. Change it to an addition, and the additive inverse is negative 8b. And this will just give me, okay, if I look at this and I multiply now, so 5 times negative 2 will be negative 10a. You could have done it there. You could have said negative 5 times 2. It's multiplied. There's one negative sign. It's an odd number, so that's why the result is negative. You do not have to put in this step. Okay, and then 5 times negative 8. Again, how many negative signs are there? Just one. It's an odd number. So the sign will be negative. And 5 times 8, it will be 40. And it will be equal to b. And this was, try now, 10, number B. Okay, let's go to the next page. Let's look at the next example. Simplify each of the expressions. It's more or less the same. Now if in the previous one, I just want to take you back. There was a number in front of the bracket. And if you look at this one, you will see there's now a variable in front of the bracket. Okay, but it's working exactly the same. Put in that step, it's A, 2B, and then again, there's a positive A and 5C. Especially in the beginning, this step will help you. Then just multiply out and multiply out. If it's a negative, just concentrate on your signs. So, if I look at this one, I'm just saying negative A times 2B. Okay, I first write it, negative A and 2B. Rewrite the negative A and the 5C. And then negative A times 2B, it's negative 2ab. There's 1. It's an odd number. That's why the sign is negative. Look, if you multiply, it's a negative times a positive. There's one negative sign. It's an odd number, and that's why the sign is negative. What I like to tell my students, I like to tell them, if there's a positive in front, then it's like a green robot. You can just move. You don't have to stop. There will be no accident. So you will not have a sign accident. But if there is a negative in front, it's like a red robot. You must stop and you must think of the signs. Otherwise, you are going to make a sign accident. Okay, let's try now 11. Okay. Let's start with number A. So it was just x and it's positive, so it's like the green robot. Your signs will be all right. But let's put in that step. It's x and we write 2y. And then remember there's a positive, so it's again positive x. And now grab the sign in front and it's a z. And if I multiply, this is positive, stays positive, so it's just 2xy. Now look. It's a positive multiplying negative. If you have one negative sign, it's an odd number, so the result will be negative. And it's 5, and it's going to be xz. It's unlike terms, so I cannot go further. Let's go to the next one, number B. Oh, be careful for your negative. It's like a red robot. Stop. Think of your signs. So in this case, it's going to be negative x. And then I'm going to just rewrite the 2y. Again, negative x. And rewrite the negative 5z. And really concentrate on your signs. This is multiply. So it's just one negative. So it's odd. So it stays negative. This will be 2. And don't forget, alphabetic order, xy. Now look here. A negative times a negative. This will be two negative signs. It's an even number. And that's why it becomes a positive. So it's positive 5xz. And that will be the final answer. I will continue in the next video with example 12.